Beyond the Sport, presented by Spectrum One.
Here we are. Thanks for checking us out on Beyond the Sport right here on Spectrum News 1. I am Travis Raychick, your guide for the next half hour. So a few months ago, we profiled Aretha Swindell, the first black women's basketball player at the University of Texas. Her story led us down a path to another story. The person who recruited Swindell to UT was Rodney Page, the first Longhorns women's basketball coach and the first black head coach of any sport at Texas. Our Victor James has more on the impact of Coach Page.
You may know former Texas women's basketball coach Rodney Page as the first black head coach of any sport on the 40 acres. I bet you didn't know his coaching journey began on the diamond. Page was born in New Orleans during segregation to a family dripped in black excellence.
I'm a product of total segregation, but not a victim of it. Born in a colored hospital, Flint Goodrich Hospital, the corner of Louisiana Avenue and LaSalle. But I want to say there's no guilt, blame, shame, condemnation, or judgment in me making these statements. This is just who I am. This is the journey of my life.
His father, Alan Page, owned the New Orleans Black Pelicans of the Negro Leagues and the Page Hotel.
My first home was the Page Hotel. I have an older brother and a middle sister. The three of us and my mother and father, we all lived in one room at the Page Hotel. It was a prominent black hotel in New Orleans. Housed and fed some of the great ball players, teams, entertainers, and outstanding people of that era. I could drop a lot of names. The baseball players, Jackie Robinson, Roy Campanella, Satchel Paige, all the great Negro Leaguers, Buck O'Neill, entertainers, Louis Armstrong, Ella Fitzgerald, Lena Horne. My dad had a crush on Lena Horne. Jesse Owens, Joe Louis, on and on and on. Yeah, that's Coach Patterson on the left up there. That's my senior year of high school.
Rodney stuck with baseball when his family moved to Houston's 3rd Ward, going to Jackie Yates High School, where he met coach and mentor, perennial Negro leaguer Andrew L. Patterson.
But it's because of that relationship with him that inspired me and prepared me to become a teacher and a coach. But it was his presence. It was how he taught. Every day was not just a ball practice, it was a life lesson. Never rest on your laurels. Always do the best that you can. Always aspire for more. Be willing to be a pioneer.
After graduating from Yates, he walked on to the University of Houston's baseball team before leaving to focus on his education. It was then he found his love for coaching basketball. Page finished his graduate degree, then got an offer to teach at the University of Texas. In 1973, he was called on to coach women's hoops by then athletic director, Dr. Betty Thompson.
I always acknowledge that first year because that shows respect and honor to those young ladies who played that first year as well as to myself. We weren't very good. We were 7-11, okay? But that's part of the beauty of the story. First year, we were 7-11. Second year, 17-10. Third year, 21-7. Progress, excellence.
Page was surprisingly let go as coach after 3 seasons.
That experience was tough. It took me years to work through that. A lot of anger, a lot of frustration, a lot of disappointment, a lot of wondering, how good do I have to be? And warrior, been down the road. Whew, man, I've seen so much.
Now retired from teaching, Rodney is still molding young minds as a life coach for Success High School, helping at-risk kids find better inroads, just like his mentors did for him.
I've answered the call of my life, even when I didn't fully understand. I always answered the call. I've lived my life in such a way in service to others.
All right, thanks so much, Victor. An incredible legacy in the sports world created by the Page family, with Rodney's impact on basketball and his father's on the game of baseball. Family excellence is something the Vestal sisters of New Braunfels can relate to. They are doing some special things in the softball world and passing it down to the next sibling. Adam Rosso explains.
Playing on this field has been on Harley Vestal's mind for years.
Seeing them play, like, it's always been my dream. It's just so cool to be here.
Where she watched her older sisters become stars.
Carrying on the name and being a part of what my sisters have made for me, they've really set the path for my career.
And now the baby in the softball family is slugging out her own niche between the lines.
It honestly motivated me because in a way I did live in their shadow, like with recruiting and everything. People would always say, like, you're gonna go somewhere because you're sisters. I wanted to make my own name.
Number 10, Harley Vestal!
Her oldest sister, Brooke, started the family legacy in the circle.
She was always tagging along to all of our games, whether it was with Mom and Hunter or Dad and I or vice versa.
Middle sister, Hunter, carried on the pitching tradition.
We tried to make her take on that role, but she wasn't very susceptible to us.
Independence that has a lot to do with being the youngest sibling.
She's not letting herself be the baby almost. Like, she's stepping up. Like, if you're not going to hear her voice, she's going to make you hear it. Like, you won't be able to push her to the background. She's going to make a name for herself.
I'm a really different player than them. I hit left-handed, I'm fast, I'm an outfielder, catcher, pretty much all the opposite things than they are.
Different attributes and different positions, but there are still qualities from both sisters that have contributed to Harley's success.
I've learned all my leadership skills from Brooke, and Hunter is just always having fun in everything she does. Those are two really big parts of the game that have really helped me.
To know how much she looks up to both of us, it just makes me emotional. Like, I didn't realize exactly how much we had influenced her in her softball career. She's proud to be our little sister.
The little Vestal sister, who everyone is now watching.
So it's been a great experience getting to learn from them, and I just hope that people think of me the same way they think of my sisters.
Good work, Adam. You know, Brooke and Hunter helped Canyon reach the state title game back in 2018. Harley is hoping this year's Cougar team can get back to Austin and bring home a title. All right, when we return, let's keep the family theme going, from softball sisters to baseball brothers, and an incredible backstory that led these two to Texas. Keep it right here. We've reached the final week of the regular season for high school baseball, the last sport on the UIL calendar, about to be in playoff mode. Waco University, you're not going to be one of those teams in the postseason, but this season has been about more than wins for their standout senior. Our Adam Rosso has his story.
One of the best prep baseball players in the state of Texas plays right here at Waco University High School. A kid with a big personality, a big bat, and some big aspirations of putting on for his city.
Now batting for the Trojans, the designated hitter, number 7, Nick Sanders.
Whether he's stepping into the batter's box,
I just love to play with swag, and that's who I am.
Or messing with the pitcher when he's on base.
I'm a baller, you know, and I'm savage. As soon as I step between the lines.
Nick Sanders brings his own flair to the game of baseball.
Growing up, having swag was a thing to have from South Waco, and playing baseball here, it was either you're going to get talked about or people are going to respect you.
He's earned that respect by working to become a highly touted prospect. Sanders is currently signed with the University of Texas, but he's also likely to be picked in this summer's Major League Baseball draft.
I got to be humble and grateful for everything I have. So I don't try to look forward too much, you know, and just ready to be able to see whatever God has in store for me.
For now, he's focusing on his senior year at university, the place he returned to with a heavy heart after 2 years on the north side of town at La Vega High School.
Looking back now, it was a very lonely period of time because it was one of the two people that, you know, I carried really near and dear to me.
Mike Chapman was known as the godfather of South Waco.
I first met Coach Chapman when I was in 3rd grade. It was the year they won the state championship, and I remember walking up to him and just saying that one day I'm going to be at your high school. I'm going to be playing baseball at your high school. And he's like, I can't wait to see you. I'll be at the games.
The longtime Trojan soccer coach never got to see Sanders play. He died of a heart attack in January 2020 at just 58 years old.
When Nick came back, he talked to me and kind of told me about the influence that my uncle had on him. And obviously that's really special to me for a kid that's as talented as he is and kind of understands what he could do with his future. And then it all comes back to something so homegrown like that.
He was just a good role model. He was a great coach, but he was an even better person.
Tragedy struck again less than 18 months later when Sanders' friend Ty Felder was shot and killed.
I'm a very emotionless person, you know, and I don't really let a lot of things get to me, but, you know, having them on my side is something that makes me powerful and something that makes me unstoppable.
A feeling that brought him back to where he grew up.
It affects me every day, and it motivates me to do the right thing, not only on the field, but off the field, because I have all eyes on me. I see it as, you know, if I mess up, it's going to look bad on my city, and I always know it's bigger than me, and to the next kid who's coming out of South Waco, I'm going to be there for him, and I'm just going to help him get to the stage that I'm on.
The responsibility of a role model.
I'm glad that this place was special enough to him for him to want to come back.
For the flashy kid who's proud to be repping South Waco.
I want to be great, you know, I want to be remembered, and I just want to be a legend.
Yeah, what a big personality. Thanks so much for that story, Adam. You know, Sanders also one of the top senior prospects in the state. The same can be said for MJ Suh from Hebron High School. MJ is not the only big-time talent in his family. He and his younger brother have bright futures ahead in the game. It's a plan they envisioned a while ago and many miles away from Texas. Robbie Fuley has the story.
Every player has a journey, and every journey has a story. Well, this is the story of two brothers who moved to the Metroplex to pursue their dreams on the baseball diamond. How far would you go to chase your dream, to follow your passion, to play the game you love?
Yeah, I mean, I really can't, put it into words of how grateful I really am.
For MJ and Minjae Suh, they travel nearly 12,000 miles total, from Seoul, South Korea, to Vancouver, Canada, to Dallas, Texas, all to pour everything they have into a game they've been playing since the beginning.
When I was, 3 or 4 years old, we got a little plastic ball, plastic bat, and that's kind of where the love for the game started.
When I'm pitching, he's at shortstop, and it's just cool to be on the same team and playing with him.
My boys, I cannot tell they're the best of the best, but their passion, and they are very resilient, and they're really hardworking. And I'm so glad they found at early age the dream which they like.
But at no point was Dallas the destination for that dream. That is until MJ at age 11 started researching the upbringing of his favorite player.
That time his idol was Clayton Kershaw, so he had searched where he played. So he just got an idea to go to Dallas and follow his journey.
The investment and sacrifice has paid off. Both brothers are highly recruited Division I prospects. Minjae, who's only a sophomore, is already committed to Vanderbilt, and MJ, the senior, is a future LSU Tiger.
Obviously LSU, they have a great history of producing major league players, and obviously one of the best college baseball programs. The facilities, the coaches, really everything. I feel like it was all just, it was just a perfect spot for me.
My boys, thankfully, they're really best friends. They're huge supporters of each other.
We learn from one another. We kind of just go back and forth about some ideas, whether it's, just pitching, just mechanic stuff. So it's always sharing ideas and kind of helping each other.
And helping this team, a team poised to make a deep run in the playoffs.
We have one goal, and it's been that since August of last year when we came to school. To get that first championship, state championship for Hebron, that would be really special.
No matter where he plays, No matter how far he travels, MJ will always have a reminder of the sacrifice that was made and the opportunity that was given.
Yeah, so this one is May 14, 2010, which is the day we moved from Canada to Korea. And it's just a very special day for me. I feel like that's kind of, to memorize, all the people that, sacrificed for me and my brother to be here. I can't thank them enough, and yeah, it's really awesome.
Now batting for the Hawks, number 13, MJ Sell.
Appreciate you, Robbie. The brothers in Hebron hoping for a deep playoff run. Hawks ranked in the top 15 of Class 6A. Also interesting to look at the rankings of their future schools. MJ's Vandy boys are 5th in the country, while MJ's LSU Tigers just happen to be number 1. This high school baseball thing, it's going pretty well, so let's keep it rolling. Back on the diamond to meet a super smart and super talented shortstop in Texas next. A lot of people have made their way out to see the Round Rock baseball team play this season. Many to see the Travis Sikora show. The 100-mile-an-hour probable first-round pick has been tossing pellets all season and living up to the hype. But those who came out to check him out have also seen one of the top shortstops and leadoff men in all of Texas. This junior is the focus of this week's Texas Next.
I would say around even 12, I kind of realized that I had a chance at this, and I kind of started working on my own, going to lessons, going to fielding, going to hitting, kind of took it more seriously from then, and that kind of developed into here, what I have now. You get a lot of eyes on you and a lot of pressure, but as long as you just play your game, and that's kind of what I try to do, especially in the big moments, just play my game, play for my teammates, and that kind of led the way for what I was able to get out of that summer and in the recruiting process. It really fell in love with the campus, the facilities, the coaches, and that kind of just clicked everything for me. I knew it was right. I always had a gut feeling about it since the first call. All the other schools were great, but down inside me was really DBU was the one. I really take pride in my defense. My hitting has developed, and I do take pride in that, and I see that progressing, but ever since I was young, fielding and defense has always been my favorite thing. I always loved taking fungo, taking ground balls. I'd stay out there all day if I could, just take ground balls. That's my favorite thing. Academics I take that really seriously. My mom grew up, she went to college when she was 15, so that kind of sparked her getting on to me about my grades, and I've kind of taken over from there. I see my future outside of baseball. If something happened to happen, I want to have a backup plan. But outside of it, I really do enjoy science and math and all that. So I'm really interested in those fields of study.
I know, it's draft weekend and the Texas teams of the NFL are doing different things. Heck, the Texans just took over the top of the draft and grabbed the first 2 picks of the top 3 and have their hopeful superstars of the future on both offense and defense. Meanwhile, the Cowboys, they're just looking for those perfect pieces to fit in with an already very talented team. But this time of year, we have a void because we haven't had any of the Texas NBA teams in the playoffs for the first time ever. So with that void, what do you have? You have pro hockey. Yeah, we know hockey isn't king around here, but it is important, and the Dallas Stars have done everything in their power to make it so. The franchise started from scratch back in 1993 and have built a hardcore, very dependent following. They've also built an infrastructure in the Metroplex and beyond to grow the game all across Texas.
Because there's been so many wonderful people, so many sponsors that have come on and says, yeah, we want to grow this game. And for where it was to where it's come today, 16 sheets of ice that we own and operate, just the Dallas Stars alone, and where we're going throughout the Metroplex, the amount of municipalities that want ice sheets, we know we can fill them all.
And we're the only NHL team in this great state. And so we're really trying to plant our flag in all areas. We really want to be those people's hockey team. We want to provide resources so that they can play at the grassroots level.
Hockey is for everybody, and y'all means y'all. And I tell people around the country, in Canada, where I'm from, you'd be really impressed with the hockey, the level of it, the coaching, the ability, what we do here in Texas.
You know what helps that is success. The Stars have had some incredible playoff runs in the past and captivated the region with their Stanley Cup title back in 1999. That was a moment. Now they're trying to make that happen again. They are built for now and the future with one of the top young goalkeepers in the game in Jake Ottinger and a dynamic 23-year-old scorer in Jason Robertson. While other teams across Texas rebuild, the Stars are established and have the foundation of success in place in a unique time in the sports world across the state. They're hoping to capitalize. They even have their Central Texas affiliate, the Texas Stars, in the Calder Cup playoffs right now as well. All right, y'all, thanks for checking us out here on Beyond the Sport this week. Big things ahead. Going to be fun to look at the fallout from draft weekend, all the guys who had their lives change, and franchises that are going to look very different as well. We will see you next time. Until then, make it a good one.
Beyond the Sport, presented by Spectrum One.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. For more refreshing stories about your community, click the subscribe button over here. You can also download our Spectrum News app and tune in to Channel 55 on Dish and DirecTV to get live news coverage, weather updates every 10 minutes, and more. We'll see you then.